Hi all, once again, welcome to my another YouTube coding challenge solving video, and today we'll be solving a problem from Codility, which is the finding the missing element in permissible sequence. So the problem says that an array A consisting of n different integers is given. The array contains integers in the range from 1 to n plus 1, which means that exactly one element is missing. Our goal is to find that missing element. Okay, so we're told to write a function that, given an input, a vector array A, returns the value. We have to return the value of the missing elements within that function. So for example, we are given an array which has got elements from the first element, which is 2, second 3, third one 1, the last one but not least is 5. Now we have to return 4 as it is the missing element. Okay, now we are told to write an efficient algorithm for the following assumption: n is an integer within the range 0 to 100,000. The elements of A are all distinct. Each element of array A is an integer within the range 1 to n plus 1. Okay, so all elements the elements of A are all distinct, meaning that it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now let us first ask ourselves some few questions before we determine what approach we can use to solve this question. So first question that I can ask myself is, what is the required kind of input? Okay, and then what is the required kind of output? Okay, now we are told that based on this question, the required input will be an array A that contains integers in the range of 1 to n plus 1. Okay, that's the range of elements in the array A. Now we are told the required output is the element that is to return the missing element. Okay, now in our case here, if you look at this question here, you say that if the integer values or integer elements inside array A starts from 1 to n plus 1, which this means that if the array A provided is empty, okay, meaning that there is no element value inside it, in this case we have to return 1, because in this case now 1 will be the missing element, and this can be observed from here. Okay, we can also observe that due to the range mentioned of all the integer values inside array A, we can also say that if there is no missing element in the array A. Okay, this means that we have to return the the sum of last element of array A with 1. Okay, this is like this will be done when after sorting out the array. We will see that later. Now let's have a look. So first we will check if the array is empty, then we'll return 1. But let's go and look at the example. So we have the example here. Let's say it starts with 2, 3, 1, then 5. Okay, now if you look at this example, we have 2, 3, 1, and 5. Now if you go with the brutal approach, you can say, okay, let's start with 2. Or we can say, since we know that the array A contains integers within the range 1 to n plus 1, we can start by saying, okay, let's start with 1. Is 1 there in array A? You say yes, 1 is there. Okay, let's go with 2. Is 2 there? You say yes. Let's go with 3. Is 3 there in the whole array? Then yes. Okay, let's go with 4. Is 4 there in the whole array? Then we say no. Oh, so 4 is not there, then return 4. But in this case now, it's really going to be long because we will find ourselves repeating reading the same numbers most of the times. Now to get rid of this, because this will take a lot of time and accuracy as well, so our solution won't be that much efficient. Now to make it efficient, what we can do is we can start by sorting the array A, which will give us, based on this example, we'll have 1, 2, 3, then 5. Okay, now remember the index values. If we decide to go with the index values for all elements in this array, we will have 0, 1, 2, 3. This is a sorted array. Now if you look at this sorted array and its index value, we can obtain that the value in array A, the first value of array A, can be obtained by adding its index value with 1, same as with the second one. If we add 1 to here, we will obtain 2. If we add 1 here, we will get 3. If we add 1 here now, we should get 4. But in our case, we don't get 4, we get 5, which means that now based on the relationship between the index value and the current element of the array A, we can obtain that in this example, the missing element is obtained by adding the index value of value 5 plus 1, and we then return that. Now if it happens that maybe in this case we're going to return 4. Okay, now if let's say in this case now the sorted array A looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in this case, meaning that the index value for this sorted array will look like this: 0, 1, 2, 3. Now if you add 1 here, you get 1. If you add 1 here, you get 2. If you add 1 here, you get 3. If you add 1 here, you get 4. Meaning that all elements are permissible. Okay, but that means if you look at the range of all elements in the array, it starts from 1 to n plus 1, meaning that if all this is there, then one element will be missing. That element will be 5. Okay, and how will that 5 be obtained? That 5 will be obtained by returning the last element of the array A added by 1, okay, which is 4 plus 1. Now in this case we then have to return A, the last element, okay, minus 1 plus 1. Okay, alright, let's solve this question now. First we have to include all the required libraries. We have to include algorithm, we have to include vector, okay, we have to include iostream. I mean, this is not really a must. We include vectors because using vector arrays. Alright, you can then say that you can start by implementing this. If the array is empty, then we return the value of 1, right? So if A is empty, okay, we return 1. Alright, then we sort the array. So sorting the array from the least or from the smallest to the highest value. The last one, from the smallest to the highest value. Okay, now if you sort the array from the smallest to the highest value, we then have a sorted array. Now we start iterating from the index value of 0, and from the first element till the last element of the array. Okay, then keep on increasing it. Then we say that if the current element is not equal to its index value plus 1, meaning that we have to return that index value plus 1, okay, as we talked about before. Now if this condition is not fulfilled until the last element, we just have to return the last element of the array. Okay, sorry about that. Return the last element of the array plus 1. Okay, and it should be fine now. Alright, and let's submit the task and let's see. Alright, the score is 100% and looks okay to me. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you need any details about the solution, I'm preparing a website for it, so it should be available soon. But you're all welcome for any questions, recommendations. If you have a different solution as well, you can just contact me and we should be able to find a better solution for this. And you're welcome to communicate with me. I have my email address in my channel. Yep, and thank you so much. Kindly subscribe. See you in the next one. Thank you.